put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
And welcome back to the morning show on Tobago Updates Television. We begin conversations with our guests. We're speaking with Gary Griffith. He is the former police commissioner of the TTPS, and we're talking about PSC former chairman merit list withdrawal. Good morning, Mr. Griffith. Good morning and welcome.
Hi, good morning to you and to your many viewers.
Right.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. We're having this conversation this morning, and we're talking about the withdrawal of the merit list. So we want to know where we are with this and your perspective on this.
Sure. So to clarify, this has been going on for over 2 years. We heard the false, misleading, and mischievous statements by politicians in the government where they claimed that there was a massive, well-oiled criminal industry, there was major corruption, and 30 months later, 2.5 years later, not one senior police officer has been arrested, not one firearm dealer has been arrested, firearm holder has been arrested. In the 4,000 firearms that were issued, again, nothing has taken place, none was lost, stolen, or used for a crime under my watch. So now all of this, the Prime Minister submitting a piece of paper to the chairman of the Police Service Commission. This is why it has gone to court. The court is the one place that has not been politically manipulated by the government, where the government have pulled themselves into the police service, into the Integrity Commission, the Industrial Court, every single thing. And just as the Chief Secretary had stated, where the Prime Minister needs to mind his business. In this situation, there was blatant interference. The reason this has gone to court is because of three things. Firstly, to make any decision, I say to suspend a police officer, it must come from the Police Service Commission. This was not done. So this is going to reveal a lot to the country now, that this former chairman decided to withdraw a merit list without the approval of the Police Service Commission. And the reason we have that, we have the minutes of the Police Service Commission, and at no time was there anything about me being suspended. So she decided to suspend a sitting substantive Police Service Commissioner without the approval of the Police Service Commission. So in other words, the chairman does not have that authority. This is not a Prime Minister who can just make a decision and cabinet will just blindly agree. Every decision made in the Police Service Commission must be based on votes. So if there are 4 persons, it must be 3-1. And if it is 2-2, then she will have the casting vote. There was never any decision or even anything to consider to suspend me, because there was nothing to warrant a suspension. So she went ahead and sent a letter to suspend me without the approval of the Police Service Commission. That is very dangerous territory, what she has done. It is unethical. She did not have the approval. Secondly, she then went and withdrew the merit list without the approval of the Police Service Commission, because she had access to the letterhead. So she decided to go and go to President's house, treat it like a post office, meet the Prime Minister, and withdraw the merit list from President's house without the knowledge or approval of the Police Service Commission. And again, to clarify this, up to now, no one in our media asked the other members of the Police Service Commission, why did you resign? That is why they resigned. They resigned in disgust because of the political interference, because of the actions by the chairman of the Police Service Commission by deciding to withdraw a merit list and suspend a commissioner without their knowledge or approval. And that is why they resigned. The final point which is mind-boggling, she decided to do this based on the Prime Minister giving her a piece of paper with a man giving his own views about something. That is madness. You can't withdraw a merit list because a Prime Minister gave you a piece of paper. This individual that wrote that is a citizen. So he's one of 1.4 million civilians. And Keith Rowley, in the same way he just found this piece of paper called email, get in his mailbox, and then went to Parliament to smear and slander people's names. He did the same thing again with this piece of paper, because there was a team that I approved to do an audit and to look at how we can improve firearm issue. And it involved 2 individuals. Both individuals had to be involved in signing a document to verify. This was not that. This was one man giving his own personal view. How could you, as a chairman of the Police Service Commission, decide to withdraw merit list because somebody gave you a piece of paper stating, well, this is what I believe, this is what I have heard? So Bliss Prasad has a lot of questions to answer in court.
To you, Gary Griffith, as you said, this matter has been going on for some time. The individual in question has since resigned, if my information is accurate, in or around 2021. You have now taken the decision, or rather it's now coming forward in terms of taking the matter further. What do you hope to achieve?
Well, again, to expose to the country the blatant manipulation that would have taken place, that again, the whole country is suffering because of this decision. Because remember, at the time the police had gone through proper transformation, it was the highest reduction in violent crime in 17 years. Public trust and confidence in the police moved from 14 to 59%. After what she did, it went down to 8%. Crime moved from 342 murders in my last year to over 600. So this one decision by this one individual, by and large, provided a domino effect for the country to be in the situation it is in right now. Additionally, this is going to expose and show to the country the damning effects of when politicians get involved and interfere with independent organizations. Keith Rowley decided to get involved, treat the police, the president's house as a post box, a post office, give a piece of paper to a chairman, and she decided to use that. It was not an official document. It was not from a committee that was actually appointed in any form or fashion, and she did that to withdraw a commissioner of police, to withdraw merit list, and to cause total chaos in the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service and in that of the Police Service Commission, that caused a Police Service Commission to resign. And so that is now going to show once and for all of this madness that took place. Who has benefited from it? The criminals have benefited. It has affected us internationally. It has put fear in every single citizen. It has caused arguably a massive increase in crime, all because Keith Rowley decided to find a piece of paper and decided to give it to this former chairman. And the minutes also says, the minutes stated that this document that she had was signed by one individual. So a civilian could just, any civilian who doesn't like somebody could just write something, give it to somebody in charge of an independent body, and they will use that to withdraw merit list, shut down the findings and the agreement by the Police Service Commission of who they wanted to be the commissioner, and suspend the commissioner of police. This year is going to expose a lot once and for all to the public.
What would you say to those who may make the point that, while they have confidence in your ability to be able to treat with crime fighting and so on, and they were very pleased with your performance as police commissioner at the time based on your ratings, what would you say to those people who indicate this is probably just going in a direction now of becoming political? Because ultimately, we do not necessarily see in the foreseeable future this current Prime Minister going back to find favor with Gary Griffith, and probably nor is Gary Griffith even interested in finding favor with this current Prime Minister to be able to return. So some persons looking at that perspective may see it as, all right, this has become purely politics now and is no longer about the security of the country. How do you respond to that?
Well, it will show that they have 2 or 3 brain cells. You can't be that stupid. You can't be that dumb to say that a chairman of a police service commission, an independent body, did something illegal, did something unethical, did something without approval, and we must ignore it? You can't be that dumb. You obviously went to school in August to state that a police service commission chairman did something without the approval of the police service commission, and that is political, because I am bringing it to the forefront. A police service commission chairman decides to make a decision to suspend a sitting commissioner of police without the authorization of the Police Service Commission, and that is me bringing that to the attention of the public, is political. A Police Service Commission resigning in disgust, and me letting the country know why they resign in disgust, that is being political. A Police Service Commission chairman making such a radical decision because one civilian gave a piece of paper with his personal view about something that you could put on letters to the editor. And that is why she made that decision. And that is political. Anybody who says that, it shows ignorance at the highest level, and it will show they're being political because they are concerned, and rightfully so, that this is going to expose Keith Rowley for his incompetence and his pettiness by taking a piece of paper that somebody gave him that had no merit, that had no substance, that was not an official document, and he used that to give to a police service commission chairman, and she used that to withdraw a merit list that caused a mayhem in the country. If anybody sees that as being political rather than seeing it as exposing a massive conspiracy that would have taken place because of the personal agenda by politicians, all I can state is that those persons, their few brain cells have been burnt out.
Mr. Griffith, we always feel your passion and we always feel your fervency when it comes to fighting crime and working on the side of ensuring that crime is at bay. So putting all the politics aside and putting all the feelings and emotions aside, what is your position now? Should we be able to deal with all the situations that are on the table now? And should we be able to go back to the same table and say, listen, we want to give you the position of cop again? What is your response to that?
No, I've been there, done that. I have served. I've done my tour of duty. Now I have to be in another position of another level, not just to transform the police service, but to assist in transforming every single arm in our national security: customs, immigration, the army, the coast guard, the air guard, the prisons, the fire services, and also other arms in the public service. The same way I was able with my team to transform what was seen as probably the most corrupt and non-productive arm in the public sector, which was the police service. That was the perception, because it was 14% public trust and confidence when I got in. We put it from 14 to 59%, and then when we left, it went back down to 8%. So what my intention is not to go back there to do something that I already achieved as Commissioner of Police. It is to go back in another position, not just to transform the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, but to transform every single arm in the public sector to bring them to optimum level of productivity by having proper leadership, good management, measuring their performance, and making persons accountable. And that the country will now be able to prosper. It will assist the country tremendously. It will be able for us to find systems to reduce corruption, to improve productivity, to make sure checks and balances take place, to ensure that the public can get proper satisfaction by all different arms in the public sector. That is my intention. So I said, if I was able to transform what was seen as probably the most difficult and least productive in the public service to being seen as the most productive, I intend to be now in government to transform every arm of the public sector.
Very quickly before we close, the CPSAD would have been served in December of 2023. What are you anticipating as the next step in this matter?
Well, again, she will now need to defend herself, but she will be put before the court and she will have to answer, why did you take a piece of paper from a prime minister and it was not an official document, and use that as rationale to turn the whole of Trinidad and Tobago's national security upside down? Why did you make that decision without the approval of the Police Service Commission? Why did you suspend a sitting commissioner of police? Why did the Police Service Commission resign in disgust? So she now will have to answer to the court and also to the public. And the public now will be aware once and for all of the nastiness, the underhandedness that would have taken place. And anyone who would vote for politicians that would have done something like this, that has directly caused the country to now be drowning in blood, well, I feel very sorry for you.
All right, excellent. Thank you very much. We're going to leave it there for this morning. And Gary Griffith, a former Commissioner of Police, certainly not letting the matter go at all. He's going all the way out to ensure that the relevant details are publicized so that the country knows what would have taken place at that time, and certainly gives him an opportunity to be able to set his name free in these circumstances for those who may wonder or may question or may think that he's just operating out of bad mind. All right, thank you so much, Gary Griffith, for joining us here on set this morning. And viewers, we have coming up next on the Tobago Updates morning show, we have Opoku Wari and Candice Robinson, and they're representing the Tuco Tobago region. All right, so we look forward to those upcoming discussions regarding the Tuco Tobago region. All right, viewers, we want to remind you that this is your opportunity to share the live, share the live, share the live.